Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Lily Reads. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I want to sit at the cool kids table. I do not consider myself like a cool reader. Like, I am not into all the cool new books. I have no desire to know what people are recommending on TikTok. I do not read the most anticipated books of the year. I'm just not a cool reader. I don't read any of the cool genres. I don't read sci-fi. I don't read fantasy. I'm just not a cool reader. I am a person who likes what I like, and everything else is just kind of noise. It's just kind of noise in the background. I really don't pay much attention to it. But every now and then, I will see some of the people online who I consider to be like cool and in the know. I will see them read certain books and I will buy those books because I'm just like, you guys are so cool and you're so, read up on the popular hit books, and I want to be like you, so I will buy those books. The problem is I have no desire to read them. I am a literary fiction, domestic thriller, black YA, and young and adult romance type girl. Like, that would be my genre. That's what I enjoy. Those are the four things that I enjoy the most, and none of those things are like hip and cool. And I don't even like the hip and cool literary fiction. I I don't even like the cool stuff in those genres that I do like. So it's just like, I'm a boring reader. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just kind of a boring reader in that way. But in this video, I want to read like the cool kids. I got 3 books. I own 3 books that I bought just because I saw the cool girls reading it and I wanted to be like them for a day, but I never got to them because I'm just like, I'm not that girl. I'm just not that girl. But today that changes. We're going to read Middle Game. Middle Game is a book that has been out for a while, and everyone who is anyone has read this book and they love this book. And I picked it up one day because I do like the cover, I decided. And I was just like, I want to be in the know. What happens in Middle Game? It has such a cool cover. Like, what does this even mean? And then Middle Game, what does that even mean? I want to know. So I got my hands on Middle Game, but never knew when I was going to read Middle Game because I don't think I'm a mood reader, but I could be, but I will never be in the mood to read a fantasy book. Like, whoa, it'll never happen. Or science fiction. I don't even know what this would be considered. I will never be in the mood for it. So it's just been sitting here, but today that changes because I'm being cool. I'm going to read Middle Game. The next book that I'm going to read is The Ninth House. Because the sequel of this book just came out, this book has gotten another resurgence. But when this book came out, anybody and everybody was reading this book. If you considered yourself hip and in the know, you were reading The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And baby, I got my hands on it, but never read it. Because once again, don't really know if it's my thing. I have no clue what any of these books are about, but The Ninth House, we're going to read that second. And then the last book, the book I think I'm most scared of, and the book I think has the biggest odds of me just not getting it, Gideon the Ninth. I don't know. Every time this book is pitched, it's pitched differently. I don't get it, but everyone who has read it, at least that I have seen, has loved it, I think. I think everyone I've seen. So maybe a couple people didn't, but most of the people I've seen have loved it, and I'm just like, I want to be cool. To me, this is the coolest book. Like, if you understand Gideon, and there's 3 books already out from this series now. If you get that, you are considered a cool girl, especially when this came out, because so many people read it when it came out, and it was just like, I don't get it. If you were one of the girls who got it and were telling everyone to read it, you were seen as so cool, you're a Gideon girl. But so I got my hands on it. But baby, this is just not my thing. This is just not my thing. Here's the thing. All of these books have sequels at this point. Middle Game has Seasonal Fears. The Ninth House has Hellbent. And then I don't know what the next Gideon book is called. They all have sequels now. So I think for my reading experience to have been successful of these books, I should want to read the sequel. And so after I read each of these books, I'll tell you if I'm interested in reading the next book. Now, I will say this kind of is an uphill battle for the books because I don't want to read any sequels. There's books that I enjoy that I don't want to read the sequel to. So that might not be a fair test, but we'll see if I read the sequel. Or, you know, if this a one, I'm never going to be a fantasy or science fiction type girl. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to be me. So if I can just appreciate these books and be like, I had a good time, these were 3 good books, I'm okay with that. But maybe, who knows, maybe this is like a Addie LaRue type thing or a Project Hail Mary where I wasn't expecting much and then I read them and I absolutely love them. So maybe it could be that. We don't know, but we will get into them. We will start with Middle Game. Okay, let's go. You guys, I'm sitting here minding my business, reading as one does. It's Ramadan. I'm just trying to be zen. I'm just trying to be zen and cool. I'm reading my books. I'm reading Middle Game. I'm confused. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm literally dumb. Literacy in this country that I live in is at an all-time low. And it's showing with me first. I am so fucking confused by this book. So the book does things. It has these titles that's like The End, The Failure, 1,000 Years Later. And I'm just like, what? So you have these 2 people, Roger and Dodger, who are not actual people. I think they're like beings that were created by, if you read the synopsis, they were created by Reed. But well, you want to know what? That part's not confusing me. The characters are not confusing me. What confuses me is like the beginning. Genesis. Then there's like little things like this. Like, you can't see. There's little pages that just have this on it. And then the second stage. And it's like book 1. Book 0, 100 years later. And I'm just like, I'm confused. Right now, I am confused. I literally am about to restart the book. I got to page 50. I got to page 50 and I'm restarting the book. I am restarting the book. I do not get it. I do not know what's going on. I read about 8 pages. Literally before I came on here to complain, and I was just like, you don't get what's going on, girl, start over. Like, I was reading words, but those words had no context to me. Like, they just were all confusing. So I am going to restart this book, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again and see what Roger and Dodger are up to. They're like siblings. One's a girl, one's a boy. We're gonna start this over because like this is bad. This vlog. I can't. I want to be able to say I've read this book so bad and be able to have it sitting on my bookshelf. I think the cover's really pretty. Have it's sitting on my bookshelf. Like, I read Middle Game, but like maybe I just don't have it in me. Maybe I just don't have it in me. I don't know. So I'm gonna keep reading, but ooh, it's looking bad. Ooh, it's looking bad, but stay with me. False alarm, you guys. I know I said that I wasn't understanding Middle Game. That's how I start off with every fantasy book. I just don't get it until I get it. But I have read up to page 114. I'm on book 2. 114 of Middle Game, and like I get what's going on enough to continue the book. I will be honest, if I wasn't reading this for a video and it felt like I was responsible to you guys to read this book, I would have DNF'd this book because at first it just wasn't there for me. But then I kept on reading, and then things got clearer. I was able to see the forest through the trees. I was seeing what's going on. So in this book, we are following kind of a mad scientist guy. His name is Reed, and Reed seems like he's a student of this like other scientists who created all these amazing things, had all these amazing ideas, but she is long gone now, so the book says, like, she's not there anymore, and he's trying to pick up where she left off. She got a lot of people who, like, the council, they did, or Congress, they didn't like the stuff that she was coming up with. They felt like she had too much power. She was trying to have too much control. So they kind of limited the stuff that she could do. But our guy Reed is like this mad scientist, and he's like, I'm about to take it this far. I'm about to take it far, y'all. Like, and so he has created all these different projects, all these different science experiments, basically, to help him become a god. They call themselves alchemists, like the scientists and stuff. They call themselves alchemists. They do have certain abilities and stuff. And basically, he's deciding he wants to take over the world and become a god. So he has to make it down some road, then make it into some world, I think. And then he'll end up being a god. But he needs the help of other people in order to do it. And that brings in our character and the best, like, part of this book, Roger and Dodger. Roger and Dodger are like science experiments. So Reed created these things called like coups or codes or whatever, and basically they're like two sets of like people who have like abilities. Like Roger and Dodger, one is like really good at like reading and philosophy and all of this stuff in words, and the other one is really good at math. And so basically he created different sets of them, and they live with these other like scientists. And like the Roger and Dodger think they're like, they know they're not normal, but they think that their life is like normal. They think that they have like parents and stuff, but really they're just being controlled. They're being controlled by the things around it. And Reed is in control of all the stuff that is around it. And basically Reed is the head of this entire operation in order to, you know, become a god and to let the things around him be gods. And everyone reports to him, and he has all of these ideas. And Reed don't give a shit about nobody. Reed don't give a shit about nobody. Reed is just focused on his goal, and that's to become a god. But he has to like get past the, what's it called, the something road, and then go to the something world. Don't follow me up. And if you read this book and I literally explained that terribly, what can I say? I'm just a girl. The impossible city. He wants to get to the impossible city, so he has to go to the improbable road. So he needs these little things that he's created to get him to the improbable road, and then he'll get to the impossible city, and that's where he'll be able to become a god. And he's building on that lady's, all her work that she did before she like disappeared. So yeah, it's actually really interesting. I'm not fully in it. Like, I'm not excited to get back to it, if you're asking me that. Like, no, I don't wait all day. Like, I know when I'm really enjoying a book. I literally can't wait to pick it back up and read it. But I'm not hating it, you know? I'm not hating it. I'm here. Like, I'm interested enough. I really like the Roger and Dodger storyline. That's another thing that started making sense to me. The different timelines started to make sense to me more, because you're following Roger and Dodger when Roger and Dodger were younger, and then you're following Roger and Dodger like after all the events, it seems, of like the book almost, and then you're following Roger and Dodger when they reconnect after being younger. So you're following Roger and Dodger in 3 different like timelines. You got them where one of them is harmed. You have them where they like first like reconnect for the first time, and then you have the 3rd time where they reconnect again. So you're following them a lot, but like they're interesting in all of those. So I'm gonna try to finish it. Tomorrow's Sunday. I told you I'm on page 115. This book is surprisingly easy to read. I think it's because there's just not a lot of words on the page, or it's just easy to get through a page. So I think I can finish this book tomorrow. I think if I really like go for it, I could probably finish this book tomorrow. So I'm gonna try. Anyways, I'm sitting here because I am uploading some content into my Final Cut Pro. This is like my least favorite part of life. You want to know, most people's least favorite part of like making content is editing, and like, yes, I hate that as well. Either you really like editing or you really dislike editing. You can tell by my editing, I dislike editing. But it's actually not the editing that bothers me more than the putting all the content into the computer, especially vlogs. That's the thing. If you are someone who watches like a weekly vlogger, I'm not a weekly vlogger. These vlogs don't take that many clips. But if you're someone who watches a weekly vlogger, you should really thank them. And I say that because if you knew how hard it is to like weekly vlog. Just to put the clips into Final Cut Pro is an entire task in and of itself. Like, if you have to think, these people who weekly vlog are taking a bunch of clips a week. Sometimes they can have close to like 50 clips in a week, if not more. They have to literally sync all of those clips into Final Cut Pro, put them in order, and then they have to listen back to all of it. They could have hours upon hours upon hours of visual media that they have to watch in order to get you a 40 to an hour long vlog. It's a lot of work. I don't have that many clips, but I do have clips. And so you have to make sure they're all in order, and you come up with your own strategies on how you keep everything in order. But yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. Anyways, I went to the movies today. I'm a little late. I saw Scream. What Scream are we on? Are we on Scream 6? I saw Scream 6. I wasn't gagged by it as much as I thought I would be gagged by it. But that's kind of me with all the new Screams. Scream 5 and Scream 6. Like, people love Scream 5 and people love Scream 6. And I'm kind of like 7 out of 10 on them. Like, they're perfectly good movies, but like, they don't evoke this like stand-up in me like they do you guys. I enjoyed how like in Scream 6, like he was gutting them motherfuckers. I enjoyed that, but I enjoyed the reveal in Scream 5 more than I enjoyed the reveal in Scream 6. I actually guessed the reveal, like, and my man is my witness. I guessed the reveal. I literally guessed who was a part of it. The only person I didn't guess is like one person, but I guessed who was a part of it and like why they were doing it. So I actually guessed it, and that's no fun. Who wants to actually guess the mystery? Anyways, my computer, I feel like the power when I was gone, the power in my house went out, because why was my computer like shut off? This is my desktop, so it's not like it needs to be charged. I want to play The Sims. I deeply want the new Sims pack, Growing Together, but I don't pay full price for packs. Are you? No. The Sims has long lost my trust, so I'm going to wait until that goes on sale. But anyway, let me stop talking to you guys and let me put this stuff into Final Cut Pro. You guys, I actually want to kind of take a reading break and read an audiobook. I just got access to Finley Donovan, What Jumps the Gun, on Libby, because I told y'all I wasn't going to pay for Finley Donovan. I don't want my own copy. I didn't even know if I was going to read it. But hey, if Libby wants to give me the audiobook for free, be my guest. So I kind of want to listen to that as well tonight and just see how I'm feeling about it. I can't make no goddamn promises that I'm gonna like it, but I would like to get that done this month. One of the ports in my computer doesn't work, and that seems like it's not annoying, but I used that port to record a podcast the other day and none of the audio went through. I don't know what's wrong. Like, what am I doing wrong? Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Like, I gotta get my life right, okay? Peace. You guys, I have read and completed Middle Game. I'm gonna give this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked Roger and Dodger as characters. That was really interesting to me. Them as characters were really interesting to me, and I like their dynamic, but the overall story of this doesn't really move me. I felt like we were building up to a huge moment where like all these powerful forces were gonna come together and battle one another, and like you kind of get that, but it's not as exciting as I was expecting it to be. The main villain like kind of just goes away a little bit in a way. I don't know, it just wasn't this like huge moment that I was expecting it to be. So like 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was in it the entire time. I was just expecting something different, and then with what I got, it was just kind of a letdown for me. So I am going to give this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I do have seasonal fears. I am curious what the hell Roger and Dodger could be doing in this book. So I won't say I won't read the next one, but if I don't read it by the end of this year, then I know I'm not going to read it. So it's something I gotta get to quickly while I'm still like in the mind of like Roger. I still have to remember what I love about Roger and Dodger, because if I forget what I like about Roger and Dodger, I'll like just be like, I don't need to read Seasonal Fears. But if I didn't own Seasonal Fears already and stupidly already buy it because I really thought I would like this book, I wouldn't go pick up the sequel. I have no reason. It's kind of how I felt at the end of the Atlas 6. It just didn't feel necessary. So maybe Seasonal Fears, I think, is shorter. Yeah, Seasonal Fear, it ain't that much shorter. They're almost the same. Yeah, but Seanan McGuire writes like V.E. Schwab. They write exactly the same. So this book felt very V.E. Schwab coded, which is really a compliment, because I love the way V.E. Schwab writes. So I really love the writing in this book, and I thought Roger and Dodger were great. But there's something I want to discuss. So I started The Ninth House, right? And I want to tell you something. I believe in the last 5 books that I have read, the word magpie has been in every single one. So obviously the book Magpie. Then in Red Island House, they say something about a magpie. This book says something about a magpie. The Ninth House says something about a magpie. And I really think Weather Girl also said something about a magpie. I literally think, I could be wrong, but I literally think all 5 of these books have referenced a magpie. What is that? Have I cracked the code here? What is this in this word magpie? I don't remember if Weather Girl, because I was already, it might have been Red Island House only, and because I read those books so close together, I don't remember. But I genuinely believe, I know Red Island House talked about a magpie. I know Magpie talked about a magpie. I know now that Ninth House did, Middle Game did, and I think Weather Girl did. Am I getting them confused? I feel like Weather Girl brought up magpies. I think all 5 of these books have referenced the magpie in them, and I think it's so weird because before reading the book Magpie, I feel like I never heard that as a thing. But it's clearly a thing because all 5 of these books have said something about a magpie. And when I'm experiencing, I'm just like, is this a thing? Is this a thing that people talk about? I don't know. But yeah, all of these books have said something about a magpie. But I'm not that deep into the Ninth House, so I got to get my bearings on the Ninth House a little bit. But yeah, what is this thing with magpies? I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Okay, peace. Hello you guys, I am here. I need to turn my TV down, but my remote is behind the couch, so I'm gonna have to talk louder than Craig of the Creek. I am on page 100 of the Ninth House, and I am not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it so much that I kind of want to DNF it. I'm not, because I've gotten to page 100. And I feel like once I get to page 100 in a book, I can finish a book. Because I don't want to DNF it because it's bad. I want to DNF it because I'm not interested in it. There's nothing I can really say I'm not enjoying. I'm just not into it. I know how it feels to wake up and want to read a book. Even with Middle Game, even though in the end it was a 3.5 star, I woke up and wanted to read Middle Game once I got to like the 100-page mark. I was like, okay, I had no issue sitting on my couch and reading Middle Game. That's not how I feel about the Ninth House. I don't look forward to reading it. I don't look forward to opening up the book. I wouldn't say I'm confused because I think you're supposed to be a little bit confused, but in this book we are following a character named Alex. She attends Yale University, except she's not actually supposed to be at Yale University. She's supposed to be living her regular old humdrum life. In her old life, she was kind of like, you know, she wasn't living on the up and up, and she was involved in like this accident or this thing that happened, which left her like one of the few people alive in it. And basically, while she's in the hospital, someone comes and it's like, we need your help. We need your help. And we want you to become a student at Yale University, and we want you to uncover all the stuff that's happening at Yale. So we meet her and she is at Yale, and we also meet her and she's talking about a murder that has happened, and she needs help covering up this murder. So there's just a lot of mystery going on, a lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue about what these houses at Yale are doing and why she needs to look into them. And you're kind of just being caught up on the story as the story is going. We have some characters around in here, but yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. It's just not that interesting. I thought I would like kind of a college type story, a story that took place at Yale, a story about secret societies, even if those secret societies have magic, about a character who kind of, you know, seems a little bit unreliable. But it has all the workings of a really interesting book. I'm just not all that interested at the 100-page mark. That's my feeling. So much so that, child, I was sitting here watching a Monty video. Like, I just stopped reading, was like, I want to watch some YouTube, and I was watching Monty's January wrap-up. And so I'm just not that interested in it, but I am going to spend the rest of the day reading. I am craving some fucking McDonald's. For some reason tonight for dinner, I want McDonald's. So I'm gonna see how to make that happen for dinner. But anyways, the ninth house not working for me so far, but middle game wasn't working for me in the beginning either. I just have to get my footing. When it comes to like books like this, I just have to map my way through the story. I have to figure out what about it I'm going to choose to be interested in, and then I pretty much find my footing. So I'm going to look back through the 100 pages and like see if I missed anything interesting, and maybe that's why it's not clicking, and then I'm going to continue to read. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with me. I don't have anything to show you. It's just been a really like slow week for me. I don't have any like around the house projects I want to do. All of my projects I'm doing in April. Like, I want to put a new TBR shelf together for downstairs. I have to get that. I want to wallpaper. I want to go on a trip in April. There's things that I'm going to do, but this month has just kind of been like a catch-up week. I need to get some work done and stuff like that, you know, end of the month type stuff, but also taxes. I have to finish up my taxes. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep reading. By the time I come back, probably everything I just said this book is about, it's not about that. I'm gonna realize I was fucking wrong, which always happens. It always happens. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. I just finished an intense workout, and now my lips are chapped because I sweat too much. Anyways, the ninth house. I am going to go ahead and DNF this book. This book is not for me. I gotta be honest with you. This book put me in a severe reading slump. I have been trying to read this book for the past week and a half, and it's just not going well. It's just not going well. The more pages I read, the less interested I become in it. This book has turned into a missing person, murder mystery ghost story, which are like notoriously 3 things I do not like. I do not like missing people. I do not like murder mysteries, and I don't dislike murder mysteries. I don't like murder mysteries with like it's a whole thing. I just don't like when someone is trying to solve a murder and it's just like part of the story. It's just not my thing. And then the next thing is I do not like ghost stories. So put that all together and I'm not enjoying this book. You guys know 2023 for me is about getting through the books that I own and getting rid of the books that do not serve me. I bought this book on a whim. I wanted to be like the girls who like this book. Then I wanted to see if I was going to read Hellbent, the next book in the series, and it's just not happening. This book has made me not read. For the past week and a half, I have not read anything because I keep telling myself, King, you can't read another book because you're reading this book. And so I've just been like, I don't want to fuck this video up. So I've been going back and forth and like, okay, Kenya, you should cancel the video. Like, cancel the video. You read Middle Game. And like, just, you're only reading 3 books in this video. So like, let this go. Let it go. But maybe I'll add another book at the end. We'll see. But I am going to DNF this and just say that it's not for me. And we will move on to Gideon the Ninth. So you guys are currently, okay, on to something else. You guys are currently sitting on like my TV console table little thingy. And you guys, I never come up here and look to see what's on here. You guys, I totally forgot that I own the original Gilmore Girls DVDs. I totally forgot that I own all 7 seasons of the original Gilmore Girls. I don't know why. I know why I own it. Gilmore Girls is one of my favorite shows. But I totally forgot that I put these in here. And that I literally have not, it's just like I own the Glee DVDs too. I totally forgot that I own these. Like the pamphlet and all. Like, whoa, I forgot that I own these. And like literally, you guys, I have all 7 seasons. I was just opening this up because it was like kind of open and I saw there was something in here. And I'm like, what the hell do I have in here? The original Gilmore Girls DVDs. Well, I have a PlayStation, so I guess I could play it on the PlayStation. I'm a big person it's the reason why I collect books. I am big on having the hard copy of things, whether it's CDs, whether it's DVDs, whether it's TV show DVDs. These are the archives. And then we've learned that with HBO Max getting rid of stuff and all of that, and Netflix going in and changing things from like the original way that they were. It's good to own the hard copy of things. I always can watch Gilmore Girls. Like, there's nothing. Like, what if they just remove Gilmore Girls from everything one day? Everything. I can watch Gilmore Girls and I don't have to pirate it. Anyways, I am going to move on to Gideon, which I'm excited about. It's something different. It's something new. Maybe I'll add Babbel. I don't own Babbel though. I'm gonna have to go buy Babbel if I add Babbel. But the 9th house is a no-go for me. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys, I have so much to discuss with you guys. Since the last clip, I don't even know what the last clip that you guys just saw before this, because it has literally been weeks since I have picked up this camera for this video. I gave up on this video, but then in the words of Hayley Williams from Paramore, I'm not into giving up. So I came back to the video. Something about the 9th house, the book, The 9th House, has put me in a severe reading slump. It is now April, about to be May soon, and I have just not read that much. Like, I've read a lot in like theory. Like, I'm gonna read 10 books this month, but like, so that's a lot, like, when you think about it. But like, I usually read more than that because the 9th house just really put a bad taste in my mouth, and it's really disturbing that the 9th house put a bad taste in my mouth, because at the very least, when I read a book that puts me in a reading slump, I can at least say I've read a book. But I didn't even finish the 9th house. The 9th house is sitting up there with all my other DNFs for the year. And I'm not going to return to it because I wasn't feeling it. And so I just was like, I'm done with the video. I'm done with this video. But I want to read Gideon the Ninth. And I really enjoyed Middle Game. And I want to move on to Seasonal Fears. I didn't really enjoy Middle Game, why lie? But I do want to move on to Seasonal Fears. And so it's just like, finish this video. Like, the 9th house is the DNF, but we're gonna finish Gideon. You read Middle Game, and that'll be that. That'll be that. So I went back and I picked up Gideon. You guys, this is my 3rd time starting Gideon. I told you I'm in a reading slump bad. This is my 3rd time starting Gideon. I would get constantly to page like 50 of Gideon the Ninth and would not know what's going on. I'm confused. Like, what's going on? What's going on here? I'm just reading words. Like, what's going on? Start back over. So I did that twice. And now today was like my official, like, no. Turn everything off and figure out what the hell is going on in this book. And I did, and I'm on page 78. And yes, 78 is like not far, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't even know how to describe what's really going on right now. You have a main character, Gideon. She is like a servant of the 9th house. Ooh, don't say that word, y'all. A servant of like the 9th house, but she's trying to get away because she don't like the way these people been treating her. And there's like a girl, she's like head over the entire house, and basically she wants Gideon to stay because she wants Gideon to like do something for her, and she needs Gideon to do it. But Gideon's like, fuck you, I'm not doing anything for you. And she's like, I will give you like your freedom papers, if you will. I will give you your freedom papers if you do this thing for me. And so Gideon's like, no, I'm still gonna run away. I'm just gonna run, because Gideon has been constantly trying to escape this place, and something always foils her plans. And so the lady who's over everything, she's like, I will give you your freedom papers and you can go. And you can go if you just do this. But Gideon's like, no, peace out. And she's like, okay, let's duel it out. Let's do a duel between the two of us. And if I win, you have to do this thing for me. And then you can get your freedom papers after that. But if you win, you can just walk on out the door. You can just walk on out the door. You'll have your freedom papers and it's done. They duel it out. Gideon loses. Gideon loses bad. So now Gideon's in this position where she has to do what this girl wants her to do. And we're seeing these people come together and, you know, try to do stuff. We're learning about this entire thing. It's like in space. Her mother, we're learning how Gideon got there and what happened to her mother. We're learning all the rules of this like world. It's really, really interesting. Like, whoa. I hate, like, it's interesting. What I love the most is like, it's quick almost. The scenes go quickly. Like things happen pretty quickly in the book, and that like that's what's keeping me going. It tells you what's going on and it moves on. It tells you what's going on and it moves on. And it's constantly just moving. So it makes it really easy to read. So that's that on Gideon. What you guys? Let me tell you something. I am in crisis mode. So if you know me, I like to unhaul books. I have been reading in my spare time. I've been reading books that I've been thinking about unhauling. I've been reading them, and it like opened up my world to like, maybe I'm unhauling good books. Like, I unhaul books that I haven't read. Like, if I bought it and it's just not my vibe anymore, you're getting unhauled, I promise you. But what if I'm unhauling good books? You guys, so now it's taken me to my unhaul closet. So I have books. This is my guest room, y'all. I have books right here that I need to unhaul, but I haven't read those. Like, what if Poster Girl by Veronica Roth is a good book? And then when you come in here, down here and in these bags and stuff, I have more books that I need to unhaul. So I'm just like, I'm like a little like, what if Poster Girl is a good book and I'm none the wiser? What if The Devil in the Dark Water is a good book? I'm never gonna read Jade City. That's not happening. I don't want to read Upgrade by Blake Crouch. Permanent Record, I could read Permanent Record. The Cousins, no. The Secret Bridesmaid, yeah, I could read. I'm a mess. Anyway, so you guys, I'll talk to you guys later actually. We'll reconvene at another time. Hello, you guys. I am here to talk to you guys about Gideon the Ninth. I already kind of told you what this book is about. This book is following a character named Gideon. She is like a servant in the 9th houses. This book takes place in like space, this space type world where there are like 9 houses, and each house has their own type of like magic, their own type of skills. In the 9th house, they're like bones and skeletons, and they use bones and skeletons and like the undead and the dead to do all types of things. That's how they get their power. But Gideon is a servant of the 9th house, and basically she wants to escape. She's like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm not doing this shit no more. But when she is going to escape, she ends up in a duel with the heir of the 9th house. She ends up in a duel with her, and basically if she wins the duel, she can just have her freedom papers. But if she loses it, she has to do something for the heir. The heir is this like girl, they have bad beef, they hate each other, and basically she loses the duel, so she has to do the thing for the heir of the 9th house. And so they end up going to the 1st house, and they basically are a part of like these trials to become like the right hand man of the emperor. The emperor is the ruler of like all of the houses, and basically if you win this trial, you get to become like immortal, and you become like the best version of like what you are. Like, I can't explain it. I don't even think I fully understand it myself, but like that's what they're trying to do. So so she and the heir of the 9th house, they go to the 1st house, and they embark on these trials, and everyone from each house, every heir of each house has brought like a companion, someone to like help them out. There's a name for them, like they're called something with a C, Ooh, read the book. Now I see why people don't like pitch this book well. Read the book. Anyways, and so that's what they're doing. Basically, they're at the 1st house trying to win these trials, right? This book is so good. This book is nothing like I expected to be. I can't really explain the plot to you well because I would have to remember the names and all of that stuff, and I'm not good with fantasy type stuff, so you are going to have to take that with a grain of salt. But at the root of this book is almost Hunger Game-ish, and it's also like a murder mystery. The most interesting thing about this book is the murder mystery aspect of this book. Like, they're at the 1st house, and people are like dropping dead. People are like challenging each other to a duel. Everyone is suspicious. The heir of the 9th house, she's suspicious as hell because she leaves Gideon's for like long periods of time, like Gideon's left alone, then she comes back but what doesn't say where she's been. So everyone's suspicious, everyone has their own motives. It's just really good. Like, I want to finish it tonight, but I have to read my book club book. This book is surprisingly good for me. I just didn't expect to like this book. This book isn't as confusing as the plot would have you believe. Like, me not being able to explain the plot might have you to believe that this book is more confusing than it actually is. It's not. It's just really hard to, the names and it's literally about all of these people, everyone from 9 different planets meeting up in order to see who can become like the most powerful. You know, this stuff, it's just, that's really all it is. But yeah, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this book. Next time I see you, I will be finished with it, and I will be wrapping up this video finally. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Hello, you guys. We are here to wrap up the video. I need to give you guys my final thoughts on Gideon. I am going to give this book 4 out of 5 stars. This was just a really enjoyable book. I think I enjoyed this book as much as I could enjoy a fantasy book. I thought it had ups, it had downs, it has twists and turns. It was not what I expected it to be, but I mean that in the best way. It's not as confusing as its pitch. It's not straightforward, but like you get on board really quickly with what's going on, and it's pretty easy to follow. So I am going to give this book 4 out of 5 stars. Will I read the sequel of this book? Yes. Actually, I went to my library and I found the sequel, and I was going to check it out, but then someone literally placed a hold for it while I was in my library, and so I couldn't check out the book because they already had placed a hold for it. So whenever I get my hands on it and whenever I'm able to read it from the library, I will get it. Now, if it wasn't at my library, would I go out of my way to pick it up? No, but that's just because I don't read fantasy. So I also say go look at other people's reviews who read these types of novels. Do not take my word for it. I don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to this genre. you would have to go, you know, listen to people who actually read these types of books. And so also in this video, we read Middle Game. I gave Middle Game 3.5 out of 5 stars. I stand on that. Will I be reading the sequel? Yes, I own Seasonal Fears, and I want to do like a sequels video, like a sequels weekly vlog where I just get some sequels out of the way. And so that's when I'll probably read this book. Now, if I didn't own Seasonal Fears, I would not pick it up. But since I already bought it, I might as well do it. So yeah, Middle Game was perfectly enjoyable. I do see why people really love this book. Just wasn't like 100% for me, and that's fine. And last book is The Ninth House. I did not finish this book, so I'm not going to rate this book. This book is a DNF. Now, if I had to rate what I read, which was a good chunk of the book, I don't even have a bookmark in it anymore, I would rate what I read 2 out of 5 stars. I just didn't feel the need to continue, so obviously I am not going to move on to Hellbent. This just wasn't for me either. I don't think any of the books are bad. This book isn't bad. It's not even poorly written. It's just not for me, and I'm just got too many books to be out here reading books that just aren't doing anything for me. So DNF. That's what we read. That is what we read. I am so happy to be done with this video. I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, down below, if you read the sequels of these, or if you think I should give The Ninth House another chance, let me know. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.